I thought the stressful part of the trip was over. I made it through security. I boarded the plane. I found my seat. Finally, I could relax. Or at least, that's what I thought. Because somewhere between takeoff and the food cart, I found myself completely confused by one simple question from the flight attendant. The cabin lights dimmed slightly as the plane climbed into the sky. Outside the window, the city lights slowly disappeared beneath the clouds. People adjusted their seats, opened snacks, and connected headphones. The loud engines created that familiar airplane hum. And for the first time all day, I felt calm. I leaned back in my seat and thought, okay, now I can finally breathe. I even started feeling a little hungry, which honestly felt like a good sign, because stress usually kills my appetite. Then I saw it. The food cart, slowly moving down the aisle. People around me started waking up, sitting straighter, suddenly interested in life again. It's funny how airplane food somehow becomes exciting when you're trapped in the sky. The flight attendant smiled politely and stopped beside me. Then she asked, "Chicken or pasta?" And somehow, my brain completely froze. Not because the question was difficult, but because I wasn't expecting it so fast. You know that feeling, when someone asks you something simple in English, but your brain suddenly acts like it has never heard English before? Yeah, that was me. So instead of answering immediately, I just stared at her for a second too long. Chicken or pasta is one of the most common food questions on flights. Chicken means polo. Pasta means pasta. Simple. But inside an airplane, under pressure, even easy English can feel difficult. Finally, I panicked and said, yes, yes. Not chicken, not pasta, just yes. The flight attendant looked confused. I looked confused. Even the passenger next to me looked confused. She smiled politely again and repeated, chicken or pasta? Slower this time. And that somehow made me even more nervous. So I quickly said, chicken, please. Chicken, please. Simple, polite, natural. Exactly how native speakers usually answer. I thought the awkward moment was over, but then she asked, would you like something to drink? Another question. Another moment of panic. The drinks cart had everything. Soda, juice, coffee, tea, sparkling water. And suddenly, I forgot every drink word I knew. So I said, Coke is fine. And this is important. Is fine is something native speakers use all the time. It means, that's okay for me. Once the flight attendant left, I finally relaxed again. And honestly, I started laughing quietly to myself. Because the situation was so small, but it felt so huge in the moment. That's the strange thing about speaking English in real life. Sometimes it's not grammar that scares you. It's pressure, timing, fast conversations, unexpected questions, especially when you're tired, traveling, and 30,000 feet in the air. A few minutes later, I looked around the cabin again. Everyone was eating quietly, watching movies, relaxing. And suddenly, I realized something. I had just handled a real conversation in English, on a real flight, in real life. So remember these useful airplane phrases. Chicken or pasta? Would you like something to drink? Chicken, please. Coke is fine. Because fluency doesn't happen in perfect moments. Sometimes it happens in awkward ones.